So my name's Brandon Andrew, and I've been fitting hearing aids for 10, 11 years now. And just a couple of years into fitting hearing aids, I came across a couple that his hearing loss was impacting his life significantly as well as hers. And it was getting to the point to where it was causing a lot of contention in their home. And so she had pretty much set up the appointment to bring this guy in there. He came in a bit reluctant. He wasn't real excited about the appointment, and so we went through kind of the interviewing process and evaluating his hearing to find out if he was going to be a good candidate or not for getting help. And we found that he'd be a good candidate, except he was a bit reluctant, and so we fit him with hearing devices, and he went home, and he called about 2 days later and said, I didn't really want to do this, but I realized I haven't been asking my wife to repeat herself as frequently, and so maybe this was a good idea, Brandon. I'm like, well, that's good. That's our whole purpose. And so about 3 or 4 days went by, and he came in and he said, before I got help, I had a hard time understanding my grandkids. And he said, they're younger, and I thought they probably didn't really realize that I was missing out what they were saying. And he said, but since we had them over the weekend, I heard every one of their voices. And that Sunday that they were over, his granddaughter came over to practice her flute. And he goes, that's the first time I've been able to really hear different musical instruments like that. And he said, for me, it just touched me in a way where I realized how much interaction I'm missing in just day-to-day activities that are impacting my life, and it helped me feel more connected with my granddaughter. And that was early on, in my profession, and it was kind of an eye-opening experience that I wasn't just helping people hear better, I was helping them reconnect, with their life and their family, and the impact that made on him made a significant impact on me, and it turned in an experience for me of just kind of a day-to-day opportunity to help people to, what can I do today to impact people's lives? So that was had many experiences since then, but that's always been one that stuck with me. So.
How they work. So will hearing aids restore a patient's hearing back to normal, how it used to be, or is it just going to stop it from getting worse?
That's a good question. We found, nothing's going to bring back our God-given hearing. Hearing aids are just that. They're an aid, like glasses. So, glasses don't restore my vision back to perfect so that I don't have to wear them anymore, but it does correct it, and that's what a hearing device does. It's the same thing. It'll correct an individual's hearing pretty darn close to normal. Most patients that are good candidates for hearing devices will find that they hear very well and that there's very little that they miss. They're not going to hear as well as a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old, perhaps, but I don't either. But they have found statistically that wearing a hearing device will slow down the hearing from digressing as much as 20%. So that's significant. The biggest thing that people need to be aware of is that the brain atrophies at an accelerated rate, and that atrophy causes audio deprivation, where the brain is deprived of different frequencies, and if it goes uncorrected for a period of time, hearing aids may not be of benefit to them. Most people that come in to get help will say, I just want to hear better. The reality is, as you dive in a little deeper with that, they don't just want to hear better, they want to understand better. And so the sooner that they get help, the greater the chances of them being successful in that they'll be able to understand better, not just hear better. And that's usually what people are trying to find out. I tell most patients that are trying to make the decision of, well, do I need to get help or not? The reality is that hearing loss occurs with most individuals, and it's just one of those processes that comes along as we get a little bit older. The first step is just getting it tested. Getting a hearing device is not something that needs to be a huge concern for most people. Hearing devices now are very discreet, they're pretty small. Most people won't even know you have one. In fact, most people have come to realize that individuals notice that they had a hearing loss before they ever noticed they had a hearing aid. You know, it's usually when someone continually says, what, or huh, or come again, or can you repeat that? That's much more noticeable than a hearing device. And so in that regard, it's not much different than getting a pair of glasses. It's just a part of life and that process. And most people that get used to them within a day or two don't even realize they're wearing them. They're very comfortable and they're convenient now. It's not what it used to be, big bulky hearing aids that were uncomfortable. Now you don't even really notice you're wearing them. So main thing is just getting in and getting tested and then seeing if you're a good candidate for it or not. So. It's a good question. Cleaning ears out isn't the funnest part of my day, so that isn't it. But the thing that gets me up every day and keeps me motivated is just patient experiences coming in and telling me how it's impacting their life, helping them to reconnect with their family members or enjoy a lifestyle that they haven't been accustomed to because they felt at a disadvantage because they haven't been able to participate in the way they used to, and being able to be a part of that process that helps them feel reconnected with their family, and just the events that they feel they've been missing out on is huge for me. I love being a part of that process.